Hi guys, I thought I'd do a green eyeshadow look today paired with a monochromatic cheek and lip color. So I love green. I think that it is, or I consider it a neutral, and I'm the queen of green. I have got a lot of eyeshadow palettes that have got some semblance of green in them, whether it's a khaki or a bronze green or a bright green. I'll show you just a couple that I have in front of me. So this one is by Lancome and it is the Bronze Absolute, and it's just got a beautiful bronzy green in it. I've also got one from Stila which has got a couple of greens, a shimmer, and then a matte over there. Really love that one as well. And then I've got one from Clinique. This is in the colorway Safari, and also just a beautiful mix of greens. The only problem I have with this palette is that it doesn't have a transition shade, but the greens are absolutely beautiful and fantastic quality. But today I thought I'm going to go in using my Essence Welcome to Cape Town palette. I think this is just such fun, and it also has some, well, a couple of greens in there. So there you've got a shimmer and you've got a matte next to it. And I really do rate the quality of these palettes. They're really not half bad for the price. So we're going to start off with the eyes. I have applied some sunscreen. So today I'm using the tinted SPF from Dermafix. I don't have any foundation on. I've just used the tinted SPF, and I have applied concealer under my eyes, and I preempted that by applying a little bit of this peach shade to the under eye area just to cancel out the darkness. And then I applied my Lancome Teint Idole concealer over that. And then I have concealed my face with the middle shade in this palette. It's a good match for my skin tone. So I've just gone in with a pencil brush and I've just touched up a few areas where I do have a little bit of redness. So not using any foundation today. So starting off on the eyes, I'm going to start in the crease. So I do have hooded lids. I do like to accentuate the crease. And I'm going to be using a brown shade. So I'm going to be using this shade in the Essence palette. It's a matte right there. And I do like to counteract to green with a more kind of neutral brown shade in the crease, just so that it doesn't look too bright. And for me, it looks age appropriate. That, of course, is just a personal preference. If you want to go into your crease with a matte green or a shimmer green for that matter, it's completely up to you. But I'm going to go in with the matte brown shade, and I'm using an eyeshadow brush that has a little bit of a curve to it. I am going to be doing an upcoming video on brushes, so if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified about that. And I do talk about this particular brush in that video. And because I have hooded lids and they're not as taut as they once were, I do like to pat on the eyeshadow, because if I use a normal crease brush, just say something that looks like this, it can sometimes tend to skip over the eyelid. So I do find that to apply this in patting motions is just a lot easier. And if you have hooded lids like I do, you just place the brush on the lid. You can just let the lid fall, and it just gives you a nice gentle wash of color. I'm just going to build it up so it's the same as the other eye. So really just very easy to apply. And now that I've got on the crease shade, I am going to go in with a blending brush, and I'm just going to blend out those harsh lines and edges. Now for the lid, so going in with a little lid brush, a flat lid brush that looks like that, I'm going to go in with this metallic-y shimmery green. I really just love, it's possibly one of my most favorite shades of green, and I really do like the texture of this and the fact that it just gives you a little bit of shimmer, so it's a little bit of something added extra onto the mobile lid. So I'm patting my brush into the shadow, and I'm going to apply the shadow in tapping motions onto my lid. I'm just going to tap off the excess. So sometimes these do have a little bit of fallout, but I find that this Essence one is really quite good. Fallout is not bad at all. And of course you can wet your brush if you're wanting something that's a little deeper, just to deepen up that shade. But it really is a gorgeous one, and it's quite wearable for daytime as well. So just patting that on to the lid. And now I'm going to go in to the outer corner just to deepen up the outer corner, and I'm going to go in with a pencil brush, looks like that, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of the dark shade in this palette. So it's this dark brown over here. Now it doesn't have huge amounts of color payoff, this dark brown, but it is definitely enough just to deepen up the outer corner like that. So just to create a little bit of darkness in the outer corner. And because my eyes are kind of starting to droop down, I keep this as much on the mobile lid as possible. So in other words, I don't go right to the corner of my mobile lid, because sometimes the shadow migrates and it accentuates my downturned eyes. So I just keep it away from the corner, and again just using patting motions like that. And now to line the eyes, so I'm going to take the same pencil brush, but I'm going to just wipe off the excess, and I'm going to go in again with this light brown shade over here, just to give my eyes a little bit of definition. So I don't want anything too dark, but I do love a kind of smudge under the lower lid. So I use the edge of the brush, not the tip, and I just kind of smudge it out, and I find that that's a lovely soft look. So on days where I don't want to apply a pencil, of course you could apply a pencil and blend it out with the pencil brush, but I like a kind of grungy smokiness under the eyes sometimes. It just looks a little bit undone, and it looks like you haven't really tried too hard. So those are the eyes done, and now I am going to go in with mascara. So I'm going in with my L'Oreal Telescopic Lift. I really do enjoy this, and if you do have hooded eyes, it's great because the way that the wand is shaped, it's a flat wand with bristles on either side, which is really rather quite peculiar, but it's absolutely fantastic for applying mascara if you have hooded lids, because it doesn't transfer onto the mobile lid. So now that the eyes are done, I'm going to go in with a little bit of powder before I apply my blush, and I'm going in with the Rimmel Stay Matte, and I'm going to just apply quite a generous layer of that because I do have oily skin and just want something to mop up the excess oils. And it is very light, it's not cakey either, so it really is going to look quite good and smoothing on the skin. Before I go any further, I am just going to brush up my eyebrows. So taking an eyebrow spoolie, I'm not going to be applying any pencil today, just not in the mood. But I do brush these up just to make sure that they are all facing the same direction. And now onto blush. So I'm going to go in with a matte blush, and I'm going to go in with this one from Lancome. It's the Blush Subtil in Rose Sable, or Rose Sable. And I'm going to be taking a contoured blush brush for this. It is a very subtle blush, so I do like to build it up. So I'm just going to pat the brush into the blush, and just starting in patting motions, just off center, I would say, of the cheek. I'm just going to pat it in like that, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. And this brush is absolutely beautiful for precision placement of blush. It really is a lovely one. And now I'm just going to blend it a little bit. So I'm just going to blend out the harsh lines and edges with whatever is left on the brush. And I just love this color. Of course, I mean, you can get this anywhere in drugstore versions. Wet n Wild has one. I'll put the name up on screen, but it's a very similar. Oh, it's called Bed of Roses. There we go. And it's very good. But I love these Lancome ones especially when you're not wearing a lot of foundation, because it is quite sheer and it just blends on beautifully. It's luxurious and it just blends. I think that's the main thing that I'm trying to say. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of highlighter. So I'm going in with my Essence Make Me Glow Baked Highlighter. I think this is a dupe for the Essence Pure Nude. I'm not sure. We don't get the Essence Pure Nude in South Africa. So I'm taking the same blush brush and I'm just going to dip the end of it into the highlighter. Just swirl it around. And then I'm just going to put a little bit on the cheekbones. Of course, you could skip this step, but because everything else is quite played down, I thought, why not add a little bit of a highlight. And now for the lips. So I'm going in with a lip shade which is very, very similar to the blush that I've used, or it's kind of in the same color family. I'm going in with Velvet Teddy from MAC. But before I do that, I am going to line my lips with the Revlon Color Stay Longwear Lip Liner. And this is in the shade Nude. This is an excellent one. It's comparable to the Clinique one, and I would highly recommend it. And that's the lips done. I do love Velvet Teddy because it really is understated, and if you're wearing a little bit of color on your eyes, it goes beautifully with a peach cheek or even a slightly rosy cheek. So I really love it. It's comfortable on the lips as well, and you can always go in with a gloss on top if that's what you prefer. So guys, that is a finished look, and I guess my overriding message is that if you are a woman of a certain age, don't be afraid of green eyeshadow. It goes with all eye colors and it can look very, very elegant when you pair it with a monochrome lip and cheek. So let me know what your go-to greens are. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.